Of the Pubg Mobile Club Open Spring Split 2021 Bangladesh edition brought to you by Oppo Reno 5. My name is Fixes, of course, joined by Necro. And well, we've seen some amazing gameplay coming from these lads. However, yesterday was kind of a bit off a tone considering how teams were playing. You know, a lot of teams were really confused as to how they would approach the final circles. And today we have teams from different groups playing over here, rather groups A and D. So, Necro, how excited are you?
I mean, as always, I'm always just thrilled to watch Bangladesh just play it because, we all know, they are really one of the most aggressive players that we've seen in the past, and also just the way they play, just the way they think, how aggressive, and they just want to contest those fights as early as they can, and they just want to get those points in their hand as early as they can, and this is just what I really like about them.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're really aggressive, and but I think somewhere down the line they need to understand the fact that they need to survive as well. But considering the fact that we have teams from different groups, like we just mentioned, so a lot of teams will be coming back from the first day who did take a rest yesterday rather, and did analyze what went wrong, and I think they would have definitely worked out upon that. And what are they fighting for, ladies and gentlemen? It's those slots for the Pubg Mobile Pro League. So as you can see, we have 3 slots from the Bangladesh region. Last time around it was the entire South Asian region, but this time you have a dedicated region for the Bangladeshi teams, because we know this region carries that much potential in them.
Exactly, of course. I mean, we have seen them play in the past, and we all know how much potential these guys have. And especially as we talk about the aggressive gameplay, of course, the way these guys play, the play style, and the way these guys think is aggressive. But at the same time, there are some teams who actually try to survive till the end, and they are trying their best to play as passive and as strategic as they can. But at the same time, the team that are playing aggressive, they are definitely being annoying to them and making causing some problem for those teams who are trying to play safe.
They certainly are. And now we've seen teams like Eccentric Infinity play out of their minds. I mean, the way they played, and Infernal Parasite GX as well. But right now, let's take a look at what's on the line. The money that we all love to talk, and $29,200, amongst which the major chunk will definitely go to the first position, who gets all $3,900. And along with that, the 3 slots for the PMPL is what all these teams are eyeing out for.
Of course, the top 3 teams, I'm definitely excited, a lot more excited than I can definitely throw out by my verbal words, but I'm so excited from just my internal piece is just so exciting. And at the same time, I just want to see how these guys are going to be getting there and which teams are going to be coming out on top, because it's definitely going to be exciting to see them play on the big stage.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it is also a big chance and a big opportunity for them, and they have grinded their way all the way up until here. But now things get really serious, because with every passing day, the number of matches kind of sort of reduce. So let's take a look at how are they gonna, get those money. Of course, have to get those point system. And for the first position, we have 15 points. The winner, of course, getting the 15 points, and so on. So you need to make sure that you are in the top 5 with a decent number of kills. Try to be consistent, because that is what we are talking about all along. Even if you get 7, 8, 9 points per game, you're good to go to qualify for the next stage. That's the regional final, so where you also have different invited teams coming across, and you'll be facing against them. So we've seen all these lads giving out their best, but sometimes you need to take a notch above that. You need to pass your limits. You need to show what you're made of. And like I've mentioned, we've seen these guys have the kill potential, right? But it's those rotations that they're kind of lacking at, and of course that comes with experience. A lot of teams are playing their first PMCO right now over here. A lot of teams have the experience of playing the PMPL. So a lot of really looking out for the contestations, because we've seen these teams going against each other for the first time. So I hope all the teams have done their homework as to which squad drops where, and accordingly prepare for the game. Now, talking about the circle, now this is a pretty much standard circle that we are seeing in the current meta. Most of the times we've seen this circles going around Mansion. We've seen circles going around Yasnaya. We've also seen circles going around Shelter. And today I would like to see something happen around the Parero Hills.
Of course. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you take a look at the map over here that we are currently able to see on our screens, there are definitely a lot more teams just like landing next to each other. If you take a look at Novo, there has been some teams just gliding across there, but seems like they are heading towards the compound near Milta. Not definitely going to be going to Milta because one team already is on Milta. So these teams are definitely trying to be as safe as they can, at least as long as they're getting those preferable guns that they want and they are comfortable with using. And of course, yeah. Well, now if we take a look at CNC here, yesterday they haven't been really showing up that great. CNC weren't really in their best, but this time definitely we might expect something going forward for CNC because we can't just give up some hopes on the team, especially that have been selected in the PMCO.
Yeah, I mean, CNC has completely just been off, and they need to do a lot more than that. They have to get a few chickens to, really have a chance of competing in the final. So we did see the players of ARS Sinisters being in a place, and they were in the Water City. And right now, we'll have to see what are they up to, because this is, of course, Team Detonator. So Team Detonator has been having a rather shaky start. They've got some good plays, but, they definitely are not at the position that they would want to. So every team, that is after the top 10, they're kind of struggling in the mid-order. They would want to have that sweet top 10 position for themselves so that they can have that comfort zone to just play around.
Of course, as you were talking about comfort zone, it's definitely going to be a lot more harder to find that comfort zone when you're just competing for such a massive prize pool. It's going to be a lot more harder to find that comfort zone, even in game and even the place where you're playing at, because, of course, your palm's going to be sweaty in the end circles. The pressure is going to build in slowly and slowly. So, yeah, the mentality and the way you think is definitely going to be changing a lot more. At the same time, it's going to be harder for you to actually put those strategies on board and make sure they look really clean, and as well as the people should be understanding them easily. But sometimes if you are under pressure, the strategies might just change at last second because not always what you're thinking comes true.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty about these battle royales, because, you've come with a strategy, you've come with a game plan, and suddenly in the zone does the wonders, You come in and you're like, I'll go to Yasnaya, and then suddenly we see the circle going all the way towards the south. And so you have to change your plans according to that. You need to make those early rotations. So that is one of the things that these teams need to still figure out, because in the PMCs, of course, it's the minors, but it's still the stepping stone, to glory, to even bigger things to come. But as we are speaking, we have the players of INFE already going against Team Eccentric Infinity, and there you go. Already Sai has been knocked. The second knock comes in, but it's a trade-off, and C-Wine, he's in a whole world of trouble as he's already gone down.
C1 is definitely going to be in a lot more trouble, because as we see, INFE is just absolutely decimating everyone in their way. At the same time, they have already gotten those 2 massive knockdowns for them, and already those kills have been confirmed. INFE doesn't seem like they're going to be stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, they certainly aren't. And Eccentric Infinity, wow, oh my goodness, what a disastrous start. Not what they would have really thought for themselves, because this is a team, that was in contention for the top 3 spots, and they were placed third in the, in the overall rankings just now, and losing out on 2 of their players so early on, and the remainder of the players are just not here. So now they've got to carry forward, carry themselves inside the circle with just 2 players remaining. Now it makes things a lot more tougher. And we have, been talking about Bangladeshi teams being so aggressive. So if a team, if a region is being so aggressive, you need to make sure, and you need to know the fact that they are going to commit every single time they're going to see you. So those strats where you, kind of decide to split up, and if you do not have, the right cover for your teammates, you're basically done.
Of course, and Eccentric Esport does have started with a really terrible spot in, but at the same time, that's when they actually got punished for separating up from their other teammates, and which is kind of tragic at the same time. But they did try to stick around, if we talk about, but just some situations and certain positions they had to change their fly path in the last second. But if we take a look at IPG4, seems like they're just having a time of their life, just banging up, and at the same time they're just getting those loot in, those juicy loot in, and they all are just absolutely boosted up, just on top of the hill right now. Of course, they're just feeling really good.
I'm really, quite keen to see what their joy does out of that M24. We haven't seen a lot of bolt actions, to be honest. Not a lot of heads being popped with that, 8 times or that 6 times. And a lot of teams, are not really going in for those, military drops, right? They've not been going for the care packages, so that's kind of, really tricky. But look at Confuse. He's just spraying along, peppering down those bullets onto its players of A1 Esports, 952 Magneto in a whole world of trouble. Just that one bullet connecting. And, had he been a bit more precise, had he hit those heads, so could have, changed things around. Had there been 2-3 players more, shooting at a single vehicle, that could have, might as well just blasted off. So, yeah, the players of Team Detonator are kind of spread across, and they're not in the position to take a fight if A1 Esports stop at a good position and then just counter them off. So they need to make sure that you've got those good covers while you're fighting, because that's of absolute importance. And this is one thing, right? Aiming, everyone can do that if they really practice. But positioning, that comes with experience. That comes with relentless playing a lot of matches. So we'll have to see how A1 Esports now retaliates, because now they've gotten the higher ground.
Of course, they do have the higher ground there. But at the same time, if we talk about there, those were some questionable M4 sprays coming in from him. Didn't really connect any of the shots, only managed to hit him once, which is definitely tragic, because I felt like if he actually managed to hit all of his shots, that could have been one easy knockdown for him. And his team would have definitely gotten that one easy kill point at the same time in the early games that we all know how valuable it can be if you get those kill points early. And this is what Bangladesh region actually realizes and capitalizes on it. At the same time, they try to work their way around it. So getting those kill points early game definitely has like a little bit of relief at you in the end game, because you can just like sit around and just camp around your compound. You don't really need to go for those kills in the late game. But at the same time, yeah, it does risk your positioning, and it might also eliminate your team early off from the game, which can be a lot more tragic. But yeah, as we talk about, yeah, there are some advantage and disadvantage in any and both of those sides. So it just depends on how you like to play and your individual gameplay when it comes to like your IGL and stuff.
The gods of PUBG Mobile have answered my prayers. I think the circle's somewhere kind of heading off to the Potato Hills. But look at the players of Team Eccentric Infinity. The remainder of the two players are way off in Lipovka, and C Minor having spotted down the players of CNC Genocide. And, their misery sort of continues as Max, he was lost. He did not know where he was going, and he was just taken down right off the bat. Now we've got the remainder of those three players. We've got to see how they are going to, retaliate back. Are they going to fight, or are they going to move away? Because come on, let's be honest, A1 Esports 952, so this is a team that is of course the sister team of the coveted, the big A1 Esports that we did see a glimpse of in the GC. They'd really put their hearts out, and that was such a promising team. Now it's the secondary lineup, and they've taken the control over the Potato Hills. Now Potato Hills carry a lot of importance. If you take an early control, you've got those vehicles, you've got those covers backing you up, so now all they have to do is just hold each other, just kind of form a position where you have vision across every side, because you've got all those 4 players alive. Try to fend off everybody that comes your way and maybe get the chicken.
Of course, indeed, as we talk about the chicken, it's not going to be that easy as you explained, for sure, because they are going to be going up against a massive competition.
They got to play their cards right.
They have to play their cards right, even if sometimes you play your cards right, even if the opponent just hits like a lucky headshot or even a skill different headshot, it can be a lot more troublesome for both of the teams, or the team that has the hill control, as we were talking about. But at the same time, yeah, they might be lucky as well off holding off the hill. As we talk about that, TRA seems like they are heading towards that hill.
They certainly are. Right now, Team TRA, they've been in the thick and thins of both. Like if we've been saying, they've had their good days, and they've got their bad matches as well. So this is also a team that will be working on their mistakes, and I really hope they did, because now XCBAC, they've got that beautiful compound, and Jerry, of course, punishing Sweet Love for making that unwanted movement towards him, and that's a good defense coming from his side. And even, just flatting out his tires, not letting him escape at all. So you can see the players of Log 1 just beside XCBAC. So we've got 3 teams in contention over here.
Seems like Sweet Love might just be able to get away if he just keeps on crawling towards his teammate. There might be an easy rest coming out there. I mean, doesn't really seem like XC is actually want to finish the kill. They are trying their best to actually find his body. Jerry's just roaming around in the U.S. trying to find Sweet Love, but doesn't really seem like Sweet Love wants to get caught. Just gonna be keeping out crawling all across the way. Jerry should realize at this point that Sweet Love might have just crawled away really far away from him. He's just scouting the area around. Jerry is not really able to find the success, but finally Jerry's gonna be finding Sweet Love and just gonna be running him over. Sweet Love is Sweet Love must be
that poor man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just struggling, and Jerry, he's being completely ruthless over there. No mercy being shown towards the players. So yeah, now Log One. Now this is an interesting team. So they started off really well, and then they kind of fizzled out. But as you can see, the circle kind of just closing in, and XCVSE are a very good position, right in the epicenter. And a lot of teams have already made their way in. Now IPG for ARC, they I think are going to rotate right now, but it's going to be a difficult entry inside the circle because every single team has taken a good place. And there you go, the second airdrop coming in, Groza, one of my favorites of the care packages that we get.
Of course, mine indeed. Groza is just a shredder. If we talk about it, just absolutely just shreds people and melts people so fast that until they realize they're already down and dead completely and dusted. Of course, how can I forget that word there? But at the same time, let's take a look at Log 1 there. Just doing a little bit of chip damage on the top of the hill. Isn't really spotting anyone, but just giving those suppression shots, making sure they know that Log 1 has that compound there. And no one is going to be contesting that compound because Log 1 already has the control over there. But as we talk about that, INFE Sahil going to be contesting that buggy in their favor. Doesn't really seem like Atomic is going to be able to deal any kind of damage to the buggy. Neither Sahil as well. He's going to be getting out really easily.
Yeah, that he will. But, taking a look at ARZ. So this is a team that, has really impressed us with the way Mamba has been playing. He's been racking up a lot of kills, and along with White Cat, he's got some experience, backing him up. So they've got that high ground advantage for them. They've got that slight dip, to just play around. They've got their vehicles positioned really well. So we just have to see, they're kind of going in for that edgy approach, playing zone to zone, as we can say. So that becomes really tricky. You need to be very, very careful while you're pushing in. And this is the kind of strat that gets you a lot of kills because you are fighting your way inside the final circle.
Of course, indeed, we have to find not just our way inside the circle. At the same time, you have to watch your back and all your angles. So it's going to be a lot more troublesome than you're thinking about. And then kicks in the pressure to get inside, and then kicks in the players calling out a lot of positions from all the other angles. But as we talk about, Mini 14, a classic DMR used in all the maps, and a lot more has a lot more popularity than any other DMRs as we talk about, because of course SKS has that recall a lot, and it kicks in a lot much when you just do those single tap fires. But Mini 14 definitely has that less recall, and at the same time you can just spam it really faster, just like M16.
Yeah. Right now, Tanveer from INFE. Well, they've got a good start. They've got those good 2 kills just backing them off. INFE got Particle. So, like we just mentioned in the pre-game segment, a lot of teams are going to look towards redeeming themselves, getting back into the league. And, with just limited number of matches remaining, they've got to do it quick. So they are acting upon it. So that's a good thing. And Log 1 has kind of been, playing safe so far so long. Because we did see some fights happening here and there. XCVSE's Jerry, going after the players over there. And Sweet Love was in a very sticky spot. I really thought that at the moment, Jerry just kind of overstepped, while he was just reversing around. Maybe Log 1 would have tried to, be a spoil spot. But look at this curveball right here, going all the way to its northeastern side. Now Log 1 has nothing to really worry about, right? Now Team Log 1 has a center. They've got the compound to play along with. And, well, SLX, they're in a kind of a fight between the players of INFE.
Exactly. SLX is going to be having a fight of their life, and at the same time, INFE is not really looking in the comfortable situation. INF is taking a lot of damage here. They already have one guy knocked down, and there comes the finish from SLX. Beautiful plays coming from SLX. Their entire team is actually has their coordination up, and at the same time, they have their calls up as well. There comes the Grenadier kill as well.
Yeah, of course, you know, that squad getting eliminated. Envy got Particle at the 16th position with just 2 kills as we finally see the players of ERZ. DRZ making a move at the players of TRA over here. Marshall, he's just holding on along the stairs. He's got that TPP angle. This is a situation where you would want to have a shotgun or something like an SMG for yourself.
Of course, the SMG would definitely do wonders in those close range, but to talk about Marshall, it's going to be going down, and it's not going to be a really great time. His team's absolutely going to be disappointed in what just happened to Marshall. Marshall should have tried to back off or just jump outside the window at the same time, just try to back out to his teammate. That could have helped him out a lot.
Yeah, of course. I mean, TRA, I was really expecting that they would provide that cover fire, provide that extra pressure from the Grens coming out. Because this is the position where it's, you know, you tend to be predictable. You know that the, you know, teams usually camp around the stairs. You just pre-fire and enter. So your first shot connects, you're done. Basically, you're getting to win that duel, that skirmish. But right now, ERZ, TRZ, this is an aggressive squad. Now, we can see Gyro X also getting on action online over there with that first knock coming out from him. So it's going to be really, really interesting. But Baby Shark with that beautiful, beautiful grenade taking down 2 of the players of ERZ.
Of course, what a beautiful nade coming from Baby Shark there. That's going to be turning things around into their favor as well. Now, ERZ, TRZ is in a massive world of trouble. They need to get those 2 players up, while at the same time, they need to contest the enemy team's position. At the same time, they need to capitalize on their position and get those knockdowns as well.
Yeah, they certainly are going to do that. But Baby Shark just spraying down along with his barrel. This is not something that I really love. Now, he needs to just control it. He needs to hit his shots right because Mamba from the backlines is providing that cover fire. Something that we would expect from the likes of Team ERZ, TRZ. Now, they've got all their players back online. Now, they've got another player of TRA knocked out. It's all upon Baby Shark, who's just surviving by the whiskers. That grenade doing so much damage. How long is he going to live, though, as they're just hunting him down? And there you go. Team TRA, the Red Army, getting eliminated at the 15th position. And courtesy to ERZ, TRZ, what a beautiful push.
Of course, TRA, one of the big names, as we have seen in the previous tournaments and the past time also. Not really a small team as we talk about. They do have some potential fraggers in them as well, because we definitely saw that well-placed and precise nade, how that precision was there. But at the same time, TRA was getting contested from all over the angles, and at the same time, I feel like TRA should definitely have pushed the res, like when TRZ was trying to res their teammates. TRA should have definitely been a little bit more aggressive towards that res and stopped that from happening.
Yeah, of course. Now, you know, Dictator being already taken down, he's basically gone over there. But the Joy, how long is he going to survive? We did see in the early game that he did yield that M24. So he's not been able to kick off with that. And a free kill for Gyro, who's, you know, playing on all cylinders. And I would love to see this battle being, you know, breaking down between the players of XP Blood Legion and ERZ, TRZ. You know, that is the battle that we are looking out for, the top 2 contenders right now. And ARS Sinister already being caught off guard.
Of course, Blood Legion is definitely the team that everyone should watch out for. This team should not be staying in the game for too long, or if they are, they're definitely going to be causing a lot more chaos and mayhem in those end circles. So Blood Legion needs to be eliminated off early if other teams want to have a good time, or at least a decent time in the end circles. But as we talk about, a lot of teams are getting close to each other. XC and SOB Hydra. Hydra is also all by himself, solo inside a buggy. The nade comes in from a demon. Not going to be able to connect much, doing a little bit of damage, but still going to be a lot more disappointed with those nades.
Yeah, of course, that's going to hurt them. But right now, XCVSE, well, they've got that, you know, small dip advantage for them because they're on the higher ground. Now, Fahim is playing from a very precarious position. Now, we've got the players of Blood Legion going against all the other teams. You know, so much traffic around, so much car movements going on, so many kills coming one after the other. So we'll really have to see as the final circles finally start setting in which team is going to come out on top. We can see even Mamba getting a few kills racked up for himself. And oh my goodness, Clark Majin, he is in such a situation. He's in such a tough spot.
Of course, as we talk about tough spot, all of the teams are actually in a tough spot. None of the spot over here are actually safe, because as we talk about, a lot of people are just being just being gathered into one side of the circle. If you take a look at the mini-map, there's just an absolute chaos all over the place. But Blood Legion seems like they are the ones really dominating. At the same time, there are some teams in their backline. They have to watch out at their back. But XP Blood Legion isn't really a small team. They are going to be doing what it's supposed to do to win the game.
Yeah, of course. You know, now teams are just falling one after the other like a stack of dominoes. But with that being said, Blood Legion and ERZ, they are, you know, firing on all cylinders, taking down squads after squads, wiping out everybody that's going to come down in front of them. But look at Eccentric Infinity. They've somehow managed to make it so far. But even if they get eliminated from here, they're just going to walk off with just that 1 point coming in from the placements. But Thunder, he's getting a few kills for himself, has managed to knock out Rolex.
Of course, as we talk about Sif, is just trying to get that knockdown kill confirmed as he can, but at the same time, doesn't really seem that Magneto is going to be given that a knockdown kill that easily. He's going to be staying behind that cover. As we talk about CNC Kuni, this man has been really popping off. Even yesterday in the games, he has been showing up his best, but also Gyro just making a lot of trouble using those smoke for his advantage. Also, at the same time, as we talk about, he is trying to stop those raids from happening, but doesn't really seem like Gyro is going to be successful in doing those.
I mean, all he has got to do is cook a grenade and just throw out an ARS. Sinister will be deleted from the server. And I believe at this point, the way they're engaging, I think they've kind of run out of those utilities. And we can see the players of Log 1. You know, they're doing pretty well. They've, you know, done a decent job at surviving so far. But look at this. XEBSC right on the higher grounds, having this blessings of the circle. But Thunder, he's on a grenadier spree right now, getting a few kills on over there. And IPG Forak, it's absolute chaos. They're getting, you know, they're getting those shots, but finally they've also been eliminated.
Exactly. As we talk about XC, though, XC is actually looking in a really comfortable spot. As we saw, they do have that high ground advantage. At the same time, they're just peppering down all those bullets on everybody, just sprinkling that salt on top of that as well. At the same time, there's a lot of knockdowns going in. Gyro just unstoppable. The whole team, XP Blood Legion, is going to be eliminating CNC there. That's a massive knockout from this game.
Yeah, they've already racked up so many kills, but they need to get that revive onto Ryan. They need to get him back up when the time comes in, because I do not feel that it's possible right now, considering how the circle has started closing in. But look at Old Boy from Log 1. He's getting a few knocks on the board, and even A1 Esports 1952 has done a really good job. Dominic somehow surviving because that, you know, that vehicle has just burned off, but Sincere right in front of him, makes no mistake, takes him down.
Dominic is absolutely not scared of anything, but at the same time, Blood Legion is in a massive trouble. Now they have to figure out how they're going to be playing out and capitalizing on all the enemy position, at the same time using those utilities for their advantage, using those smoke for temporary cover, and getting inside the circle is definitely going to be a lot much more harder for XP Blood Legion, because they have been one of the most targeted team, and people all know that XP Blood Legion is, if they're going to be staying alive till the end circle, it's going to be a harder time for them to actually staying alive as well, because Gyro and all those Dominic, if we talk about, those are the most star players for Blood Legion, and if they are going to be alive, it's going to be a lot more chaos in the end circles.
Yeah, they've already racked up 10 kills for themselves, and well, Eccentric Infinity have done a really good job of holding each other. You know, this is that one player surviving Thunder, and he's made it to the top 7. Now SLX, they're in a whole world of trouble as Cherry's got his eyes on towards him. But A1 Esports 1952 Tawfiq, he's also that lone man survivor, but somehow did manage to take one down from the players of ERZ.
Of course, Sketch down to the zone damage there. Unfortunate for Sketch. He was knocked out, couldn't really do much, and yeah, his teammate couldn't just really go back inside the circle. But as we talk about circle, the circle is being in a really unfortunate spot for ERZTRZ. They have to actually capitalize on the situation. At the same time, other teams are going to be contesting inside the circles as well, so ERZTRZ is going to be having a hard time defending the circle as well, because XC Jerry, as we've seen about this, XC was in a really comfortable spot until the circle decided to move and favor the other team, which was ERZTRZ.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Mamba, what is he going to do? He's got the blessings of that ridge to play around Cherry, getting that beautiful knock onto its Dominic. Now this is huge. XE, they are playing on all cylinders with the way they're getting the knocks, but look at Mamba's grenade coming out all the way from far, getting that 3-pointer connected. Now Blood Legion, they've got to be very careful. They've got to get themselves inside the circle. How are they going to do that?
It certainly is going to be a lot more hard for them to actually get that, but at the same time, XP Blood Legion is just running around in the grasses, trying to contest the area as much as they can and trying to just get a better position overall. But at the same time, if we take a look at ERZTRZ Mamba, he is absolutely struggling in getting those knockdowns, but at the same time, they are actually successfully defending the zones for so long. As we talk about, Atomic with 3 kills, absolutely great domination coming in from Atomic there.
Yeah, absolutely. Now they've got the circles. All they have to do is connect those shots, and they are certainly doing that with a lot of finesse. You know, Mamba still surviving, fending off every single attack that's coming down onto his way. And Rare, he's already got those 3 kills coming in for him. Gyro is still surviving. Now we've just got that 4 teams remaining, 8 players alive. Anything can possibly happen.
Of course, XP Blood Legion is still in the game, so it's definitely going to be a lot more harder for TRZ to actually keep those players defending. But at the same time, TRZ do have all their teammates alive, but it's actually going to be a really massive competition in the end here, because there's one more team who has all of their teammates alive. So it's definitely going to be a lot more harder and a lot more interesting to see how, like, which team is going to be coming out on top.
Yeah, of course, but look at Leo. You know, he's just out of the circle. He's trying to play around, but this chicken dinner looks like to be going into the names of the players of ERZ, TRZ. Now, finally, that battle coming off. You know, it's Leo versus Gyro. One good grenade coming out from Gyro. He can get that connected, but no, that was a Molotov trying to flush out the enemy. But Rare has somehow spotted his position. Now, Gyro having the higher ground, the upper ground advantage. He's in a good spot. But look at Mamba. That's a very good split.
Of course, Gyro has those massive 5 kills number for him. Those are some massive kills. So as we all know how lethal Gyro can be sometimes in those end circles. So XP Blood Legion might be a little bit more troublesome for ERZ, TRZ, Mamba, and Rare. Now this is just a prone battle coming in. A lot of utilities being used, smoke being used from Leo just to get a little bit of temporary cover for himself, so he can just move inside, barely inside the smoke. As we talk about, ERZ, TRZ is in a really comfortable spot. If they just keep on holding that spot successfully, Gyro might just be in a little bit of trouble. But as we talk about, Gyro is going to be taking down Rare. Now it's all down to Mamba.
Yeah, it certainly is, and he's been spotted. He's taken a lot of damage, and Gyro, he'll make no mistake in getting that chicken for his team. What a showdown, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, for a second, I really thought that ERZ, DRZ might have got this game in the bag, but it was the persistence, the perseverance from the players of Blood Legion coming out on top again with those 13 kills and a beautiful chicken dinner. I mean, for a second, this time, it was quite different from what it was yesterday when ERZ got their chicken, you know. They had to fight their way inside the circle in Pachinki, but this time, they had the better of it. And of course, I think the only problem that they had a much things on their plate, you know, a lot to eat. But, you know, in that process, they got their players knocked out because they had the perfect dip to play around. You know, they've got that perfect cover. Mamba was really firing hot. And, you know, even Rare, he was doing fairly well. But it was, you know, XP Blood Legion coming from the backlines, you know, trying to take down every single player that has their attention somewhat onto a different direction. And with that being said, getting that beautiful chicken dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at who is the MVP, because Mamba, of course, 7 kills, 1315 damage. Great.
Of course, Mamba was the one definitely holding the zone pretty properly, as we talk about. He was using the M4 and just spraying down anyone who came in front of him. Mamba has been doing a really fantastic job over here. But at the same time, if we take a look at like overall top players, which we'll be seeing in quite a while, I'm pretty sure Gyro has been doing a really fantastic job in those end circle. As I was talking about, Gyro, how lethal that man can be if he is going to be alive in the end circles. Like, the whole Blood Legion team is just absolutely fascinating to watch, and iconic moments. They are presenting those for us to cast here.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, he was a cold-blooded killer. And even when things were not in their favor, they did not fluster. They did not panic at all. And that is the champion's mentality that we need over here. That is what we're looking for. The best of the best in the lot. Because now you'll be going into the finals. You will be facing off teams that have a lot of experience, have a lot of players, you know, that have represented their country on various international tournaments. And you know, to try and compete against that, you need to be as good, if not better. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the top players in the lobby, and I'm pretty sure we'll get Gyro, and he's got that 7 kills. Of course, it's just the damage that has sort of differentiated between them.
Of course, Mamba was in a really comfortable spot inside the zone, so of course Mamba, all he had to do was just hold. But at the same time, what Gyro had to do was look around himself. At the same time, he had to contest the zone, use his utilities, get inside the zone, just get in a really comfortable spot as well. So Gyro definitely had a lot more things for himself to go around on, and he just wanted to play as safe as he can and try to wait for those end circles.
I mean, he was really bold with every single movement. You know, if you remember that fight against ENC, he was right out in the open. He was doing whatever he could. He did wipe out that squad. He did a lot of things. But, you know, if you talk about Dominic, he's also provided that proper support fire. Like always, you know, you've got Gyro, who's playing on all cylinders, just going in on towards the squad. And he gets that assurance, that insurance that you talk about from Dominic, from the backlines. Hey, buddy, I'm looking up to you. Do whatever you want, and getting that free space, and that's where, you know, Gyro really shines. And this is the partnership duo that we've been looking out for. But we also cannot disregard Rare from ERZ-TRZ. He was also one of those survivors, of course, not really having that best of the positions because he was on that lower ground. Gyro did have that advantage. But ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the match summary and see how the other statistics came up.
Of course, as we look at the match summary, of course, how can we forget Demon? This man has been doing really fantastic in those early games too. We saw him just absolutely just dominating all the teams that were coming in front of him. But of course, yeah, there have been a lot more moments going in favor of Gyro as we talk about XP Blood Legion. Is of course, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a huge fan of them now.
I mean, of course, we've already been, because considering how they've been playing in the first day, you kind of tend to think that, was it just a fluke? But no, they are prepared. You know, they know what they have got to do. They are men on a hunting mission, and they justify that. But of course, XCVS, I loved how they play. Like you mentioned, Demon, look at that. 5 assists coming out from this player. He's been there from the back lines. I mean, Jerry, of course, getting those initial knocks. They stayed on till the end. But, you know, while they were entering in, like I said, they had a lot of players to deal with. But today we got something really different to see. Yesterday it was teams just going after each other, you know, like madmen. But today teams tried to approach it very strategically, and they kind of decided to, you know, just come out on top. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a look at the match ranking and see how the teams have fared off in this particular map.
Of course, as we talk about ERZ-TRZ, has definitely gotten the most points from all those games because we saw them absolutely pop off and getting a lot of kills in those end circles. But Blood Legion was the one who actually got that chicken dinner, and yeah, it's just a lot more.
Just a point difference. But, you know, both these teams, they are, you know, putting up the competition. They are heating things up. Now, it's going to be really difficult for the players of Eccentric Infinity to catch up. But, you know, huge props to Thunder, you know, considering the fact that his teammates died really early on. He survived till the end. And he was bringing the fight right on the face of the players of ERZ-TRZ, managing to knock one of their players out of the server with that gren that we saw. I mean, had Thunder not done that, maybe they could have walked off with a victory.
I feel like INFE could have gotten a really better position as well if they decided to play a little bit more safe or just try to play like around the edges and use their utilities on point. But I don't know what happened. I feel like they more kind of like choked in the end circles and decided to just go off and get like a complete squad.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done a lot of things. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's head into our lovely Oppo moments and see those, you know, action really coming into life yet again. I mean, it's all started off with 2 players of Eccentric Infinity being taken down. That was a rather confusing split. I mean, 2 players at Lipovka, 2 players at Milta. What were you even thinking? I mean, not in a situation like this, not in a region of Bangladesh is where you can try out these various strats, because you need to know the fact that these teams are really playing aggressive right on your faces. You need to have all your 4 players around you. And even TRA, they were just wiped out. And ERZ-TRZ, we know this is an aggressive team. And after getting these Gren knocks, I really felt the players might just take that upper advantage, try to go and push. But that's where Mamba was really venomous. You know, he was on the back lines. One of the players did, of course, try to do that, but he was there to provide the cover fire. He got that 1 knock, and he played a phenomenal game, to be honest.
Of course, to be honest, I feel like if he was a little bit too more aggressive inside the smoke, of course, the players in the back lane wouldn't have been able to spot him because he was inside the smoke, and he could have stopped that res as well. But he was just trying to play safe as he can. But at the same time, he could have like backed off and just got rid of that situation. But he just wanted to go for the fight, and somewhat he like made a really wrong decision there.
I mean, it comes to perception. He just wanted to go all in. It's still the first game. He knows that, you know, he's got 3 more games backing him up. Yeah, like you mentioned, you know, you do not want to get eliminated pretty early on because you're not getting that position points. You know, those sweet points that really matter. Of course, you'll get a few kill points. But, hey, you got to do that. You know, at least if you're focusing on those kill points, you need to wipe out a squad or 2. That's where you get those 8 points and maybe 2 points from position, 10 points. Yes, you can say I've had a fairly good game. But, you know, now with things going on, I would love to see how it has changed on the overall rankings. XP Blood Legion, of course, having still, taken that good lead for themselves. 95 points being racked up, and this is the second chicken dinner that they have got. But TRZ Esports not really far behind with 85.
Of course, Blood Legion just dominating at the first position there, but TRZ is just following their footsteps at the same time. They might be able to catch up if Blood Legion just makes any kind of small mistakes, and TRZ is already on their back.
What they have to do is really, a few of the teams, if they need to, clinch that lead back, either you just drop off in their dropping spots, you can test them, but it comes at a cost. You might have some casualties of your own. That is something that you really cannot afford. But as we move down, towards the bottom half of the table that we have, a lot of teams need to pick themselves up, especially teams like PXBS, who've been having a really rough time. 5 games, 27 points. They could do better.
Of course, XB can definitely do a lot more better. A lot of teams can do better. Yeah. All we can do is just expect them to do better, but it all comes down to them, how they're going to be performing in the game. As you talked about, some of the teams did realize that they are going to be having the first game. It's just the first game. They might have played a little bit more loose, but at the same time, they were playing a little bit loose. But in a tournament like this, when it's a PMCO, you can't just be thinking, oh, it's just the first game, so it doesn't really matter. You can't be doing that. Every single game matters a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And CNC Genocide really need to wake up. I mean, they are in their slumbers. They are still hibernating. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's head for a short little break, because coming up is the action from Sandhawk. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today, number 3 of the PUBG Mobile Club Open Spring Split 2021. Of course, the Bangladesh region is where we are in, and we did witness an amazing game in Erangel. But let's just
The down lines, all the teams are going to be more busy looting, but what just happened here?
I mean, welcome to Sandhawk. That's pretty much what happened. I mean, Tanveer.
Unfortunate, yeah. I'm pretty sure Witcher did not expect one of the INFE teammates, members, to drop there, and that's going to be such an early knockout for them. And Tanveer is going to be getting that early frag point in his hand, and his team is definitely going to be a lot more proud for him.
Yeah, they certainly are going to be. And you know, Hydra from Souls of BT. Let's talk about this team. We have not gotten enough of them in the first game, and they were kind of having a lackluster performance. And this is not acceptable, because this is one of those teams that has the experience backing them up. This is one of the teams that has been playing really well in the past. And suddenly, you know, looking at them just crumbling like a cookie, it's not acceptable to me, because I know these lads have the potential to do a lot more. But now, getting back to the game again, INFE, the players, you know, what do you do with that? They've had a fairly decent start, but towards the end, you know, towards the late mid-game, they kind of messed it up in Erangel.
Of course, they did mess it up a little bit in Erangel, but at the same time, this is the map where they can redeem themselves. At the same time, yeah, they can just make it worse. So it really depends on their luck, also at the same time, their skills, and yeah, just the more kind of like how the IGL is going to be playing around in the situation and how he's going to be capitalizing on the situations that he's going to be getting inside, and his thought process is definitely going to be a lot more important to all of his teammates and team members for their victory.
Yeah, I mean, taking a look at ARS Sinister, so this particular team, did have a very good position inside the circle in Erangel, but they could not really traverse around or rotate properly, so they need to know. And in a map like Sandhawk, you really need to find where the circle is going to head out to. So one thing for sure that all these teams do understand is the fact that it's going towards Camp Alpha, right? So it's going towards the western side. You know, that's the maximum possibility, unless and until the circle kind of throws you a curveball right off the bat. So it might go towards the southern island maybe, but right for now, we must assume that it's somewhere going towards the western side. So a lot of teams are making that early rotation, because yesterday, you know, if you remember, in the Nepali region, while we were casting, we had a kind of sort of similar circle, and you know, the teams had a lot of problems trying to get in. Majority of the kills happened right inside the water.
Of course, yeah, the water rotation is definitely one of the most riskiest rotation, because it also gives you a movement penalty. At the same time, you're not going to be able to use your gun inside water. So yeah, water rotations are definitely a lot more risky, and you have to go early as you can. So you are going to be the one to hold those positions down and making sure none other team is going to be coming in outside from the water. So of course, you are going to be the king over there.
Yeah, I mean, now taking a look at the players of XCVS, not really having the kind of a start that they could have, really. You know, Jerry trying to just park his vehicle inside the compound, and I like this bike strat coming out from these lads. You know, you get that extra bit of a pace, you get that extra bit of, you know, the enemies really trying to connect the shots. They need to be really precise. But look at this. This is what I was scared about. And ERZ, TRZ being the ones from the backline, just firing down, hammering all those bullets onto the players of D9. So now this is gonna get a lot more tricky, because Jihad, he's caught. He cannot get out. The moment he steps out of the water, he's basically a dead man.
Yeah, of course, he indeed is definitely a dead man, but he can definitely bob and weave those bullets, yeah, because it's a really far away range fixes. It's not going to be easier than it looks, right? Like, of course, for us, it looks like it's going to be a lot more easier, but at the same time, the recall kicks in at the as long as the range is, and the player model just looks like really small and like just like a dot in front of you. So it's going to be a lot more harder for him to spray him down at those range. But as we talk about the airdrop, one comes in, the MK47, the big guns are dropping in. Who is going to be contesting that airdrop is going to be a lot more like exciting to see.
Yeah, I mean, of course, who does not love a good old Mark 14 and you know, team detonators? So they've got that high ground advantage for themselves. XCVS, you know, now this is a team that has already lost out on a single pair. Now we've got the players of IPGX, right? They're on the higher grounds. Now they're holding it off. Confused. Does he have the information though? That's going to be really, really crucial. You know, because in a map like Sanhok, if you've got the position up at the top, you spot teams out right in the open, you can easily take them down.
Of course, in open you can take anyone down in easily, and yeah, of course, the team might be in a little bit of trouble if they get caught in open ground. And at the same time, if we talk about D9, though, Hellfire has been one of the players who have been really passive in the past. We haven't really seen him come out on top in like most of the fights. But at the same time, we cannot just be out here judging them on their playstyle. So Sandhawk, this map might be their game for sure. Let's just keep on watching how they're going to be playing it out.
Already one of the players of IPGX. Look
Yep.
at him. He's already ready. And any single moment, the players of Detonators come out. I think that's where Detonators have realized that they've got someone watching them from up top. You know, they've got that king of the hell position, IPGX, and this is a team, you know, that really capitalizes. You know, we've got Mahfouz. We've seen him being so terrific in that map of Miramar, where they tend to get those high ground advantage for themselves and just get the chicken easily. But elsewhere, we can see Syed taking a dig at the players of Souls of PD, and a few trade-offs here and there. You know, he gets taken down as well as the battle between these two teams finally breaks out.
Of course, as we talk about ARS, one of the Saeed is going to be going down. Unfortunate situation coming out for ARS there, but soon they can be capitalizing on that, using no smoke for their covers. But SOBs doesn't really seem like they're going to be stopping, though. They are going to be keeping on hammering those bullets on them, and the revive is definitely going to be coming out on top. But as we talk about, IPGX is going to be getting their first knock on the Detonators. 2 knocks coming down. Detonators in a massive world of trouble. Now, how are they going to be able to survive all of this? Because B277 doesn't really seem like he's going to be stopping.
Yeah, he certainly does not seem like that. And, well, Detonators, they're finally going to meet their makers. But Sincere, he's been taken down. So that's one of the things that they need to work out for. But Mahfouz providing that cover fire for his team, buying enough time. But now the question comes, are they going to commit? Because Jihad, he's inside the compound. And for IPGX to get the entire squad eliminated, they have to step down from the kind of an advantage that they have. Now, is that a good trade-off? That's what they are, you know, calculating right now, because the revivals are coming in. A few good grins, and I might see, you know, Team Detonators taking an early exit.
Of course, Detonator is in a world of troubles and have already lost.
Yeah.
Detonators has been eliminated early off. What an unfortunate situation. What an unfortunate turn of events for Team Detonator there. But doesn't really mind. They still have 2 maps for themselves coming up. If you guys take a look at the circle, look at the bottom right on the circle. There are so many teams just absolutely gathered across each other. There's going to be a lot more fightings coming on soon, because IMEX is on their way as well.
Yeah, of course. You know, talking about the players of even Log 1. We did get a glimpse at them, you know, still outside the zone. They're still trying to make their way inside the circle. So that's going to be really, really tricky for them. Now, taking a look at Souls of BD, you've got all these 4 players trying to move inside the circle. And we'll have to see how they proceed on this one. And Junaid, well, they've managed to get 2 kills off. So that's a good thing. Now this is also a team that needs to somehow redeem themselves, needs to get a chicken, you know, to get that confidence back rolling in for them, to get the momentum going in their favor. So considering the fact that they're now, you know, fighting their way inside the circle, it's going to be really tough, because the majority of the teams have already crossed over.
Of course, the majority of teams indeed have crossed over, but at the same time, there are going to be a lot more fights happening, because this is the Sandhawk map. This is a really small map, and the rotations, you don't really need those vehicles, and even if you do use those vehicles, your position is going to be given away, because in Sandhawk, we all know how important your positioning is going to be, because the zone's going to be shrinking a lot more faster. You have the pressure building in a lot more faster. At the same time, your palms are sweating while you're holding that phone. It's just going to be a lot more when it's going on inside of your head.
Yeah, I mean, taking a look at the position of the players of ERZ, TRZ, they've got the eyes on the big fishes that we have. That's A1 Esports 952 we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And Atomic from the back lines, you know, he's present over there just to try to fend off attacks from behind. So a very good information from the players again coming out. Now Hydra, he's taken a dig at Storm, and they're getting a lot of knocks into their favor. And like I mentioned, you know, they're playing that edge-to-edge strat, and you know, kind of taking down every single team that's coming in front of them. So that's a really interesting approach coming out from Souls of BD. Right from the early game, they're getting a lot of kills into their name. That's going to help them. Now, if they get a 6 or 7 spot and they've got some 8 to 10 kills, I mean, if you just add it up, it goes somewhere around 15 to 16 points, which is fairly acceptable, which is really great coming for a team like Souls of BD that have been kind of struggling right now.
Of course, indeed, they have been struggling in the past as well, but hey, things can turn out really well sometimes, and even they can be turning out completely any or other way, which can be definitely tragic for all these teams. But as we talk about IPG, they definitely have a lot more better position on top of the hill. They are looking down on ERZ, TRZ because they have capitalized their position, and they are looking forward to take the shots in as soon as ERZ, TRZ decides to show themselves, but doesn't really seem like that's going to be happening anytime soon, while Mefus is just scouting out the open ground. He has such a massive wide of angle in front of him. He has all that open ground in front of him. He can just shoot whoever he wants if he just sees anyone.
Yeah, I mean, taking a look at Souls of BD, now they've got their eyes set onto it, the Red Army. And this is a team that has been, fairly struggling today. And in the first game itself, being wiped out from the likes of the players of ERC, TRC. And now again being picked off. Look at Baby Shark, he's running for his life. And Souls of BD, now they are in a very interesting situation, right? So they've got a lot of kills. I would love to see, the exact number at that. And there is our favorite team out there, CNC Genocide, again, trying to cause some trouble out there. And they will be doing fairly well. And White Cat, well, he's being patient. He's being vigilant. He's just waiting for the players of A1 Esports 952 to really come out from their den. And the moment they do that, that's when they're going to strike.
Of course, I feel like CNC is one of those teams where it's just like those small insects, right? They don't really harm that much. But at the same time, they're just really annoying to face against because it's just like you don't really want to give them much attention. But at the same time, yeah, they are one of the most annoying teams as we talk about. But INFE is taking those water routes as we talk about, but doesn't really seem like they're going to be quite scared of their enemy position, or they are just a lot more sure and confident that there's going to be no one else camping outside. M249, a massive care package drop weapon there. Beautiful stuff. I absolutely love this gun. What are your views on this gun?
I mean, to be honest, we haven't seen the M249 in action at all of the 2 days we've casted so far in both the regions. And, yesterday, this is a region in Bangladesh. We've seen teams actually not really going in for those care packages. So that's a concern for me because I know that, it's a higher risk, higher reward situation. But, well, Souls of BD. I mean, they've actually channel their inner demons over here and of course eliminated Genocide. Now this is where I kind of agree with you at the same time and certainly would beg to disagree because this is one of the teams, like you mentioned, they're like insects, they're just everywhere and they either kind of just poke you, maybe take a player down from your team, but at the same time, these are all the teams that have made it so far. We can never really undermine them, but the kind of a gameplay that they're playing, I'm really having second thoughts. How did they make it so far? Because they're completely lost. Is it the pressure? Or is it the team? Or is it the circle that is the problem? Because they do not come with any single particular strat. They have no game plan. Something that the teams of with the likes of ERZ, TRZ are really good at.
I'm definitely sure CNC has came in with a game plan, but they are going up against the most toughest competition as well.
Maybe.
They are facing against some of the best players, and situations might have been making them a little bit worried for all the around situations going on. But CNC, I'm pretty sure they are trying their best to just keep themselves inside this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team, it's their first time. It's, I think, the nerves being racked up. It's the mental pressure coming out from these players. And in these, situation, you kind of tend to really choke off. But, what my advice would be for this team? Play like it's the last game you're playing. Play like you've got nothing to lose. And I'm pretty sure, if teams start doing that, they're going to get a lot of success. Either ways, you're already on the bottom of the table. Either ways, you're at the brink of the elimination. So try to give in your hearts out. But look at Souls of BD. I think they just add too much on the plate, like I mentioned, taking a lot of fights, but not really focusing on the circle because western side shift is really tricky to approach. And especially in a map like Sandhawk, they should have known that they needed to prioritize the circle over here, considering it was on towards a different island, kind of being restricted the entry. But Shuo, it gets taken down.
Of course, going to be a really tragic situation coming in here for EC, though. Shuo has been taken down. All the other teammates are trying to get him back up, using those utilities, using those smoke grenades to get as much as cover as possible. But at the same time, Riddle is trying his best to just like get his teammate next to him, but they are also getting camped from up top by IPG. So I feel like EC is in a really bad spot currently if they are, because Thunder and Cvine have been one of the most like potential fraggers for EC coming out here on top. But if they both are being taken down, as we talk about that beautiful nade coming in from IPG there, it's going to be B277 going to be getting a knockdown on Thunder with that beautiful massive nade. Thunder's going to be a lot more disappointed, and EC has lost one of their potential fraggers.
They certainly have. Now, EC, one good low toss lob grenade onto its the players of Eccentric Infinity by 8277. I mean, that's going to do the deal. And yes, he certainly is going for that. If this knock connects, yes, that's going to be big. One beautiful knock onto Virtuosa. But now the question arises, are they going to commit? Because this is the right time. You know, Riddle and CY, this was scared. They've started to panic. They are kind of caught in a situation. If they kind of come out of this place, they're going to get taken down. But, you see, look at the players of IPGX. They've rotated in really quick succession. They're going to provide that, extra bit of an angle. And, Shuvo, he just got alive. Again, being taken down. And this time, he will be finished for the better half. And right now, CY also being caught off guard with the way he's been playing with that Uzi. Of course, I mean, in Sandhog, this weapon really does wonders.
Uzi is just absolutely shredding everybody right now. Riddle is taking a little bit of zone damage at the same time. He is down to low HP. He's going to be medicating himself up. I feel like in this situation, he should have definitely bandaged because he has that time a lot there. And I don't feel like the enemy team does capitalize on his situation. Cvine is knocked down. He is trying to go to Riddle, but doesn't really seem like it's going to be happening now. It's just the support player for EC Alive, and it's also going to get third-partied at the same time. What is going on? Unfortunate circumstances for EC there. IPGX causing a lot of trouble for them.
Yeah, of course, Souls of BD also being eliminated. That knock player should never have come to its Vital because, at that moment, she's just giving away his position. And 8277, he knew that someone is there. Okay, I'll take my own sweet time in just waiting for him. But IPGX, again, being the king of the hills and, doing so much damage. Now, Team Log 1, they've made a really good rotation, considering the fact that they were so late into the party. But now we have the players of IPG4 Arc. Well, they've got Caffeine from SLX. Is Venom aware about it? Because Caffeine is going to punish him for that. Wait a second. He knows someone is in the fray, but he's kind of ignored him. Alright, now he goes in, checks this corner.
Oh my god, he knocked out off the zone in front of him. What is this I'm watching? What unfortunate turn of events in there against them. Oh no, he just got knocked out in front of him. That was an absolute hilarious
He was healing up.
moment.
He meant no harm. And they just enter in and he's like, goodbye, you can have my loot.
He's just like, hello? And then he just goes knocked out. Unfortunate circumstances coming in on their favor. But as we keep on talking about the game, we have been saying how good IPG has been positioning themselves in these previous games as well. B277 has been just fragging out for their team. But yeah, potential circumstances might go against you as well, so they have to watch out their backs. But I feel like at this point, IPG is just being a lot more confident as we talk about XBL. Dominic is going to be getting the first knock. Beautiful 2 knocks coming in from Dominic there. Blood Legions is in a massive trouble. But at the same time, Gyro is still alive. Their fragger, their massive fragger, their star player is still alive. Gyro can absolutely turn things around in their favor as we talk about Gyro. Is going to be taking one more knockdown from them, and that's going to be a M46X spray. Beautiful spray coming in from Gyro. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he's a monster right now. And he's that one player that you need to rely on. But how is he going to get inside the circle? He's made so much noise. But, IPGX just having that high ground advantage for themselves. Even if their players get knocked out, they've got that chance to get revived as we are finally down to our final 2 teams. But Blood Legion, again, making it into the top 2. And I do not think that they can get the chicken on this one. Unless and until, Ryan and Gyro pull off something really miraculous. But But look at this man going off, popping off his
Oh
grenades,
my
and
God.
there you go. One beautiful knock. He knows where the other one is. He's just going to lob one more, and I think that's pretty much going to seal the deal. But no, it's kind of, deflected from over there. And the moment, Marshall, any single moment, he's just knocked out. Cynthia might just close in and maybe potentially just get the final kills.
The only thing I would like to say is hashtag stop bullying Blood Legions. IPG is just absolutely bullying Blood Legions. They're at their position. They're taking a lot of zone damage, and there goes Blood Legion down. IPG is going to be taking that chicken dinner in their hands. What a beautiful turn of events for them. What a massive, unfortunate events coming from Blood Legion, getting a lot more unlucky in those final phases. But what we are seeing from Blood Legion is that they are a lot more consistent in getting those securing those top survival points.
This time, I have a different thought. Because, to be honest, IPGX were just too smart. I'll tell you why. Reason being, this is a team. Right from the get-go, when we were in that flight path trajectory, they did see the circle. Instantly headed down to the Camp Alpha area, right? And they just held on towards the King of the Hill position. Since if you would have seen, he was, taking control over the shrine area. And right from over there, they were just, trying to fend off every single attack coming from down below. And, this is where things get really interesting from over here. Like you mentioned, Blood Legion, again, fighting their way inside the circle. They've got a lot of kills. Same goes for ARZ, TRZ. Same goes for XCBSC. So we've got a lot of teams that, are really consistent. But ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the MVP, that one player. And I know who it is going to be. Of course, B277. I mean, the way this lad has been playing. I mean, so beautiful, beautiful grenades. I think he's good at that basketball practice.
Certainly he is. IPGX B277 has been peppering down a lot of those salts, pepper, just from the top, making all the players salty in the bottom. I'm pretty sure that they are indeed getting a lot more salty and angry. There's just oh my God, look at this guy, so annoying. He's just camping at the top of the hill.
Well, it all started off, that major fight, I think in the between against Team Eccentric Infinity. That's where they got that go and said, yes, we can do it. But right now, we are going to take a look at the top players. Well, Souls of PD, I think this is a major improvement from the performance in the past, right? And now they've gotten those 5 kills for themselves. Sincere also securing those 5 kills. Had that King of the Hill position, but you can never rule out Aman Cairo with the way he's been playing. 3 kills, 470 damage. Impressive.
I feel like SOB is one of those really mediocre teams that are performing consistent, but at the same time they're not able to top their skill ceiling. And they definitely need to do something really out of the box and unique if they definitely want to secure those top survival points. And getting those strategies on the board at the last second, as we talked about how tough it is in the last second to actually get those strategies on top of the board. So SOB definitely needs to step their game up.
Yeah, they certainly have to, but this is an improvement from the past games, right? Now they've gotten those kills, so a lot of confidence coming inside of them. But let's take a look at the match summary as we will have a conversation continuing for us. So SOBD, one thing they did really bad was, in fact, really, I must say it was wrong, was the fact that they did not respect the circle. Of course, they did fight their way in. They were fighting edge to edge, but they should have, crossed the bridge and maybe then could have gotten more kills rather. But, if you talk about the highest kills, B277 just coming out on top. And Marshall, well, 300 meters in Sanhok is pretty impressive.
Of course, B277, the positioning showing it's great. And as we talk about, Macho has gotten that almost 300 meter lockdown or a kill. The thing is, in Sanhok, getting that 300 meter kill is a big thing in itself and a big achievement. As we talk about, longest distance travel has been pretty decent as well.
I mean, yeah.
Sweet Love was definitely the one who got caught off guard in his car, though. So, yeah, Sweet Love had a rough time when he was using that car.
Imagine using your bike and just going around up until the point you just land right in front of your enemy. That's something that you would not want for yourselves. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the match ranking and see how these teams have been doing in this map itself. And there you go, 15 kills, 15 position points, 30 coming out for IPGX, and certainly what they needed. We know how deadly this team is in Miramar, but today now they've shown their prowess in Sanhok. So I think we can start making comparisons for this team to the likes of RRQ, because this is one of those teams, you know, that love to play that king of the hill position, and every single time that they get it, you know, they're stepping up. And it was not Mahfouz anymore. I mean, he still did get a couple of kills, but it all came down to B277 and of course Sincere, who were playing really well.
Of course, Sincere were the one playing really well, but at the same time, if we talk about CNC, that doesn't really seem like they're going to be stepping their game up anytime soon, because since yesterday they have been just loving those bottom points. I feel like they just like to stay in those bottom. They're one of those people who don't really like the limelight on themselves and the spotlight on themselves, so they're just going to be taking their sweet little time on the bottom time. Eccentric Infinity definitely struggling a lot too in these last two games. We have seen that team coming up on the overall leaderboards on top, but I don't really know what is happening to them today. But yeah, I'm certainly sure in those last two games, which are going to be Miramar and Erangel, they are going to be showing themselves up more.
I mean, the only Ryan, he's cooked up a grenade. This is a beautiful fight that we can see between the top two teams that we have around. Yeah, and ERZ, TRZ, well, Atomic, of course, connecting onto its Leo. Now, this is going to spell trouble, because now Ryan has to back off and get that res on.
Of course, indeed. He does have to get that res back on, but at the same time, Blood Legion is in a little bit of trouble. But Gyro is just chilling on the other side, and Dominic Bot as well are just chilling. It doesn't really seem like they're scared of anything at this point, because I feel like just the way these guys play is just a fearless gameplay as well. But beautiful nade coming on to Dynamic Bot, but as we talk about, Ryan is not going to be falling back as well. White Cat goes down from ERZ, TRZ. These are the top teams just going up against each other. Now it's definitely going to be a lot more interesting to see how these guys are going to be contesting each other. As we talk about Dominic Bot, going to be taking down another with him. It's just a absolute bloodfest going on.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, Blood Legion, they're just charging right onto the face of ERZ, TRZ as they wipe their existence, and somehow also manage to, you know, revive Leo in the process. I mean, this is beautiful. They have solidified, they have, you know, kind of established their dominance, and they have made a point that we are here to win not just the PMCO, but also have their eyes onto the PMPL. And if they continue playing like this, the kind of aggression that they are showing, I'm pretty much sure that we are looking at a team that has qualified for the big stages.
Exactly. I mean, just the way they are playing, if they keep up their performance just like this all the time, they might be qualifying to the PMPLs as well. I'm not just saying might be. They have probably qualified for the PMPL.
Yeah, they certainly look prepared.
Look at how like Gyro and Dominic are just racking up kills for them, and at the same time, Ryan and his other teammate are just like doing a massive job in supporting them both for setting up those frags, and it's just like a beautiful, absolute beautiful turn of event for them. And at the same time, the way these guys are boarding up their strategies in front of them is just a really nice sight to watch. But as we talk about, XP Blood Legion might be in a little bit of trouble if they lose their star player Dominic.
Yeah, there certainly might be in a whole world of trouble, but they are actually going in for the revival. But Marshall can be the difference maker, as you can catch Cairo with off guard. So right now, we've got detonators. That is a beautiful grenade coming out from Gyro. He's just trying to press in. Well, Ignite, a beautiful knock coming out, but gets traded off right off the bat. Just grenades coming out and doing so much damage. Lightning barely surviving with a sliver of HP. Ryan has also been taken down. IPGX, the final player, falls down, of course, to Venom from elsewhere. It's absolute pandemonium going on over here. And Leo, I believe he's the last survivor, and they just took so much fights at the same time, and they could not handle. As Leo, he's just popping up those first aids, and we've got to see if he's actually going to be able to make it inside the circle, as Lightning does a fairly decent amount of damage in trying to take out a few players of IPG4 Arc.
D9 looking in an absolute tragic situation over here, using those smoke grenades just to provide a little bit of temporary cover. But at the same time, rezzing his teammate, Lightning is doing an absolute great job as a medic. At the same time, Lightning might have a little bit of pressure on his head as well, because Lightning is one of the most star players for this team. So he has to perform as well as play the support role, at the same time use those utilities. It's just going to be a lot more harder. But as we talk about Two guys are going down from Team EC, and that's going to be an absolute tragic moment coming up for them.
That was a massive lapse coming in from their side. But SLX finally having such a disastrous start into the tournament. They're looking promising. They've made it to the top 6, and Eccentric Infinity also taking an exit at the 9th position with just 2 kills. It's not acceptable considering we know how good this team is. But right now, well, Detonators, they're really enjoying themselves. They've got 3 of their players alive. They've got 5 kills racked up for themselves, made it to the top 6. What else could you ask for? Now they've got their eyes set on the top 3 position. But Blood Legion finally taking an exit, but of course with some decent number of kills. Again, then, just trying to increase the lead over there in the leaderboard.
Indeed, they need to increase their lead on the leaderboard. But as we talk about SLX, Sketch just throwing out a lot of nades, just barraging it on the enemy team. But at the same time, doesn't really seem like he's going to be managing to connect any nade. But as we talk about XC, Fahim is going to be going down. And that's going to be another team eliminated. That's going to be XC vs Esports. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, at this point of the situation, we can't really, say anything to these players because it's so chaotic towards the end. You've got one fight and then you've got the next, again, another fight coming up for you. But this is really promising from the players of SLX because now they've got their players in. There's just that one player, Sketch. He's just lying down, crawling. I do not think that's a good time to get that rest back on. But look at Baby Shark. I mean, he's just going in for those heal battles, getting those first aids for himself. But I think he's pretty much a goner after this. But I think SLX really have a good time. He knows that he's gonna die. So better as well die in fashion. But this is really promising from the Red Army. And now Detonators are playing so very well. So now these are the 2 teams that haven't been really popping off hard. But finally, one of these teams is of course definitely getting a chicken dinner, and this is gonna help them a lot. Both these teams are gonna earn enough points for them. So we're gonna see a huge rise coming from the bottom half of the table this time around.
Indeed, as we talk about SLX, they have all their people up, so they are in a really comfortable spot. But at the same time, the enemy team is not really in a comfortable spot because they only have 2 of their teammates alive. So it's going to be a lot more harder for them to contest this end zone because it's going to be a 2-on-4 situation. So it's definitely going to be a lot more harder. The utility usage has to be the beaten point. Well, at the same time, you need to hold those circles in. But as we talk about SLX, 2 players from SLX go down. Beautiful M46X spray coming in from Confused.
I mean, this is where the tides have started changing, right? The circle, of course, favoring the players of Detonators. I mean, yeah, you've got the numbers advantage. It's 2v4, but still, you've got to get inside the circle. How are you going to do that? Simple trick. Have one of the players, Zaman, stay on the back lines. Remainder of the players just try to push in. Tell him to give that, quintessential cover fire, and that's where you're going to get your job done. But we've got to see if the players of SLX have really figured themselves out as to how they're going to commit to this circle because they are outside. They've got to get in 45 meters, and in these final circles, under these circumstances, it's going to be a pretty tough task.
Indeed, it's going to be a pretty tough task. Well, as we just look at Zem 69, he's just going to be spraying with his M44X, just trying to get those suppression shot in. So Confused is not going to be peeking out when they're trying to make the rotation. As we just look at it, they are just spraying around. They don't have any intentions of hurting, but at the same time, they just don't want the enemy team to peek out. Well, as we talk about not intention of hurting, Confused taking a lethal amount of damage, and we talk about that. One more knockdown goes from SLX, and this is going to be a really unfortunate turn of events.
Yes, that certainly is. And we were kind of predicting this, right? Now, things are so much stacked up in the favor of the players of Detonators. They've got the higher ground. They've got the better of the circle. Now they've got just 4 enemies in front of him. And all that SLX have to work around is with the numbers advantage that they have. Because if Detonators have a few grenades and they kind of apply that extra bit of pressure, which I believe they don't, considering how many fights they've been, engaging in. So we'll have to see, as eventually the end game ends, who's going to come out as the winner, because both these teams are relentless. They're just fighting hard. They understand the value, the virtue, that's something that they are going to get out of this chicken dinner. It is so imperative that they get one, because after that you're going to get that morale really boosted up as we are waiting for the 7th circle to start closing in, and the 8th circle has finally formed. Now this is where they're playing it smart. They've got one of those players watching the backline, but this is not the time to pop in a first aid, because your teammates are rotating, and you need to synergize with your teammates over there to get on with the fights.
Indeed you do, but SLX doesn't really seem like they have a really good piece of cover. but they just have that trucks and just a little bit of rocks around them as to use their cover, and even the car as a temporary cover. So SLX might be struggling in the cover side as well, but at the same time, if we talk about Detonator, they do have a massive amount of cover for them. They have that ridge, they have that tree in front of them, but at the same time, the tree is not going to be enough for helping them out. But I feel like the ridge itself is going to be enough for him to cover his life.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a standstill right now.
Yep,
Both these, yeah, I mean, at this point, I start to wonder, do they even have enough ammo? Because look at Confused, he's just got 19 bullets, and he needs to get that reload on. And just one spray is all he can do, and I'll have to check out how much other ammo. Oh, he's finally got some from his teammate. Yeah, so much bullets being used over there, and finally, it's gonna come down. Who's gonna get the better of it? Now the circle has sort of shifted into the favor of the players of SLX, and now they make no mistake, get that chicken in, as the players of Detonators had to make their way inside the circle, and that's where the numbers, the zone favoring Team SLX ironic, and 23 points from this game. Now this is gonna help them a lot, because when the overall standings did come out, we did see they were kind of trailing behind, and they were in the bottom half. And after this, they've managed to, step up onto its 11th position.
Indeed, one of the most unexpected teams to take the chicken dinner away, just stealing that prize away from.
Nice, and Deagle goes knocked out.
Indeed, INFEX, Deagle YT has been gone down. Deagle is going to be really disappointed after that one. Even INFE has been one of the most star teams that we have seen so far in this whole tournament, and losing a man this early in the spot where there are 15 teams alive and you are going to be only 3 men surviving and your 4th teammate is going down a grave. It's definitely going to be so disappointing for INFE as we talk about that. TRA Baby Shark getting another knockdown.
Yeah, that he has. But one thing for sure, A1 Esports, 1952. Now, they've made a lot of noises, okay? So, Team Detonator do surely know who's just around them and what they're up to. But Tawfiq, okay, so this is a team that I am rooting for. ERC, TRC in contention. Now, Atomic is in that very, very sticky wooden shack situation, which is caught. And, oh, goodness. Again, we're going to see a rematch over here as Blood Legion are just passing by from up top. And ERC, TRC trying to retreat, and Whitecard really getting some beating out there from Gyro X, and Dictator taking down SLX's Saman. So that's a fight that's happening elsewhere, but that's a really good way to park your vehicles. I mean, they're not even able to get inside.
Certainly they would have to switch their seats and just get inside. But as we focus on the situation that is happening in front of a Hydra doing lethal damage to One Shot, this is going to be a really bad spot for A1 1952. One Shot has gone down. A really tragic situation coming up for SOB, but SOB is getting their teammate up back as well. Now Entry is going to be healthy soon if he decides to heal himself instantly after that, but Junayati seems like he's going to be wrapping around. He's going to be flanking A1 at the same time. He knows that there are people behind the tree and doesn't really seem like he cares about them. He's just going to sprain the vehicle that is in front of him. Going to be missing a lot of shots in the process as well, but decides to take the cover behind the tree. Now Junayati, beautiful decision making coming in from him. He's going to be waiting for his teammates to back him up, because he knows A1 1952 Magneto is just behind that rock, and he's going to be waiting for his teammates to for giving him cover as well. But the utilities will be coming in soon. At the same time, using those smoke grenades on time and getting that temporary cover for yourself to back off. But Junayati is going to just going to be finishing that kill that he had knocked before.
You've been asking about the fact that where is Souls of BD? There you go. 2 kills already for this squad, and they rotated from Sigourney this time. They're making things right. Still they're in the race, and one chicken might just make themselves feel really happy about themselves, because I know these lads have got more to offer than what they're really doing. But Dark Side, all right, Leo. You're not supposed to miss shots like that. I mean, considering that we've seen better performance from this lad, but it's, of course, his teammate Dominic just wiping him out, and he's staring into oblivion.
He's just looking at the sky and looking at how beautiful the scenery is. Because if he looks around himself, all he's seeing just people dying. So he needs a time off from that. He needs a mental reset. So he's just going to be looking at the sky, remembering the God, saying to God, God, I'm sorry for shedding so much blood, but I don't have any other choice because I want that chicken dinner. I want to get my name and freeze my position on the top because I don't want any other teams stealing that position away tomorrow from us. As we talk about that, it seems like SLX is in a tough spot because not all of them are looking good. They are not on full HPs, but at the same time, they have boosted themselves up, so they will be healing on eventually. MK14 in the care package with a level 3 vest and a level 3 helmet. And yeah, of course, I mean, like no one's going to be contesting the airdrop. Like I bet $100 on it.
Yeah, I mean, no one's definitely going to do that. But right now, Soldier BD, Entry's got a kill for himself. And Entry, oh my goodness, he's just getting traded off. And finally, the Red Army, stepping up. So today, we've seen teams, that are in the bottom half of the table. They're kind of collecting a lot of points. If not the chicken dinner, of course, ISLX did get one. But, the remainder, TRA, even in Miramar, that was a promising performance. That was a valiant effort. They got some 10, 12 points out of it. So that's something that I really like. But Zulkar still keeping the fight against our lovely favorite team, that's CNC. Now this is where we have to eat our mouths, eat our words that we just spoke. Teams are actually going in for their airdrop now.
They are. Oh yes, I love it. I love it. I love when teams actually go and contest those airdrops. I feel like mostly they went for the airdrop because they were contesting the positions really close and near the airdrop, so they were like, you know what? Might as well get that level 3 helmet as well and that level 3 vest and a little bit of medkit too, just to top it on, just the icing on the cake. And at the same time, if we take a look at IPG4 Dictator going to be going down. Unfortunate turn of events, but Gengar has been traded out instantly as well. And there comes PXBS Esports has been eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, they've been in the thick and thins of it, starting off in Water City, not really having a lot of loot to play around. They did get a few kills, however, and there you go, XCVS, wiping out the existence of CNC Genocide as their misery, the brutality against them kind of continues. So now we've got two teams right in front of each other, and both of them having their own dome over there for the shelter, so they can play around that. As the circle again, we are seeing that shelter zone. So last time we did see Team Bhai Brothers trying to just keep A1 Esports 952 inside the shelter, and I think it was the players of XCVS that got a few kills out of it. So this is a team that really loves to play this area. So if the circle kind of ends onto it, then maybe they can walk off with the chicken, because the kind of a consistent performance that this team is showing, I think they also deserve one.
Indeed, they also deserve one, but as we talk about all these teams on the top, they have all 4 of their players alive. XP Blood Legion has all 4 of their players alive too. All the teams have to watch out from them as well, because they have been absolutely just dominating the whole scene of Bangladesh region. So they need to actually try to melt their ice cream down as fast as they can, and they need to stop that freezing spot. But it doesn't really seem like anyone's going to be focusing on them for now, because Blood Legion is absolutely in a peaceful spot. Now EC over here, if we take a look at EC, Team EC over here, EC, EC has been playing like a little bit questionable, but at the same time, yeah, they have been securing those high spots for them, like high survival spot and high positioning points as well. But yeah, I mean, they haven't really been doing exceptionally well. While as we take a look at C-Wine and Riddle, yeah, they have been playing really well. Like Riddle is doing a really great job in assisting C-Wine as well. But yeah, I just feel like overall they need to do something, and they need to step their game up to get on top there.
Yeah, I mean, Eccentric Infinity, like you mentioned, they're kind of looking really lost, They're trying to figure out, they're trying to try different strats. But, I would really love to see that aggressive side of it, because that is what was working. But, D-Quad getting that knock onto its the final player of Detonator, and, well, this team falls down as well. So the circle kind of taking that curveball towards the northeastern side, where we have the players of Souls of BD really holding on to its epicenter. And now this is a place where Eccentric Infinity can really shine. They've got the better of the circle. They've got C-Wine on that flank angle, who's taking a lot of beating from the players of A1 Esports 952. Now this is something that he has to be really careful about. Now IPGX, Mahfouz has been fallen everywhere. The kill feed has started to dance, as everyone needs to just rotate inside the circle and just fight.
Indeed, as we talk about SLX, though, Execute 69 just trying to flesh out enemy position, just throwing just Nate at a blank spot. Doesn't really seem like what he's doing, but Executed, yeah, he thinks that there is someone there, but there isn't really anyone there. It's just a little bit paranoid after just so many fights happening, and yeah, we do understand why that happens most of the time. But if we take a look at the circle has moved in a really open spot, so there are a lot of kills happening at the same time, a lot of teams getting eliminated. So many utility usage coming in. As we talk about IPGX, Marshall has eliminated the complete team of Infernal Parasite. GX is going downhill. Absolute bad turn of events coming up for them, and has been capitalized instantly. As we talk about Leo, seems like Leo has been spotted by one of the teammates there.
Yeah, of course he has been, but right now, White Card and TRZ. So this is the team that I've been rooting out for, but not really having the best of the mid game, because they've got to get themselves into the circle, and look how many enemies are one with the nature. Everyone just pruned out, and now, well, Mamba, he's looking like he wants to strike, and Error right in front of him. But two teammates just pushing at the same time, just proning out, just revealing so much, giving away so much information. The Red Army, they might just be ambushed from different sides, but Jerry getting that knock onto the Stranger. And XAVS, this is also one of those teams that has been really playing so very well tonight in the evening. So now, Baby Shark, well, he's got to deal with Dominic though. Can he do that?
Of course, he will be able to deal with Dominic if he just plays all the points out well and perfectly. But as we talk about TRA, the team has been really disappointing all their fans up since a really long time in all these tournaments. And if we take a look at Zam too, I mean, he hasn't really been showing up as well. As we talked about yesterday and day before yesterday, Zam was definitely putting on a show for his fans up there. But yeah, Error 404 definitely trying to do as much as he can, but I feel like he should stop shooting and actually keep his position private and try to keep it as much a secret as possible, because right now he is just giving his position away. Even though TRA has all their teammates alive, he is getting flushed out by Rare's nade though, taking a little bit of damage. But as we talk about, gonna be crouching out of the grasses and just gonna be spraying Rare down. Such unfortunate situation coming up for Rare. Definitely did not expect Error to be so close.
Yeah, right now as the circle has started closing in, the sixth circle, the circle of death as we call it. Now we'll have to see Error, what is he going to do? How is he going to fend off the players of ERZ, TRZ? And it was a good chance, but Mamba just spraying down, rattling the bullets, and Error finally getting that beautiful knock, but still does manage, to get himself taken down. So it's complete chaos. Yeah, that's completely unfortunate. But Marshall, oh my goodness, right in front of the enemies, and they're kind of helpless. They still did not know where he is. He got a knock, and he also got a kill out of it.
Unfortunate turn of events for them as well. But as we talk about, oh my god, the both of them are just next to each other and finally gonna get a kill. INEFX Illusion eliminating the complete squad of TRA. Unfortunate turn of events as we all are talking about, but Illusion is absolutely happy about that kill that he have gotten for free over there. And now SOB was one of the teams that you wanted to survive in the end circles as well. And seems like they are certainly being successful and playing and actually minding their gameplay at the same time, playing really safe, using that grass as a cover, just you being a little snake and just snaking around. As we talk about that, XC Demon seems like he is pulling out an A and throwing it on Thunveer HS there, but it's not going to be connecting it. INFE Thunveer is in a really good and healthy state right now.
Right now, what I love, I'm loving is exactly the players of XCVS really bringing in on the hate, and I think they might be the new favorites to win this one out. But SOBD and INFE got Particle. These are the two teams that have really impressed us. But Eccentric Infinity again getting eliminated at the 7th spot with just 2 kills. Okay, this is pretty mediocre, but I really expected them to go really aggressive and ham. But XCVS, they have been relentless. They've been persistent. The perseverance has been there, and this chicken dinner might just be coming in home until and unless they completely mess it up.
Indeed, as you talk about messing it up, INFE is in a really good spot. And now, as we take a look at Illusion, it's just he has made a little bit of a coffin for him, and yeah. it's just like is quite safe inside that. But as we talk about
Ouch.
that, TRZ Esports has been completely eliminated out of the game. Unfortunate for TRZ there. They have been popping off a lot in the previous games as well. But as we talk about INFE, what is happening here? It seems like he was just gliding across. But if we take a look at XC Jerry has been playing really good in all these games. Like it's been just really fortunate events coming up for him.
Yeah, of course. But, you know, right now, IPG4, they are so good. You know, they're getting those kills. And INFE, I'm loving from what I'm witnessing. I mean, they've got 8 kills. They've got that last player surviving. That's Illusion. And they've done majority of the job. But it's XEVSE that deserve this chicken coming out from them. But with just that one player remaining, it's going to be really far-fetched. But Souls of BD, of course, having the best chances because they've got that higher ground. They have nothing to worry about. They just have to let the game simmer because all these teams are definitely going to fight amongst themselves. Now, Jerry has got that beautiful Groza and, of course, the ghillie suit. Something that he can use to his advantage in this particular place. But I believe Durjoy might have spotted him down.
Exactly, indeed. And if you got Particle, has been eliminated too, indeed. But at the same time, if we take a look at all these top 3 teams that are left, SOB is one of your favorite. If I'm not really sure if it is, but yeah, you definitely wanted this team to like survive in the late games. As we talk about, YOLO X is taking a lot of damage. Unity doesn't really seem like he want to give his position away, but the buggy in front of him is definitely getting busted soon. You need to back out of that buggy as fast as you can. Just bust that buggy out exactly is what he's going to be doing, because busting it out doesn't mean that you are going to get blown by it anymore. So which is the best thing you can ever do. Unity making a little bit of cover for himself, just a temporary cover coming up from Unity, just to, you know, like distract the minds of IPG4 for a while. It's not going to be doing much though, but yeah, they are going to be having their eye on Unity. But yeah, just a little bit of distraction coming up from him.
Yeah, I mean, things have started heating up, right? Right now, he's dug his own grave over there with that smoke. You know, of course, you're trying to save yourself. But what are you doing? You completely shielded your vision. And now, Junaid, he does not know where the enemies are going to come in from. Now, this has given the players of IPG4 Arc so much room to just rotate around. Even if they want, they can go right onto his face. So, and Junaid won't be able to do anything about it. But, you know, Heaven patching himself up. Jerry somehow still surviving, showing some resilience out. Not giving up without mind. But is this going to go? Whose favor it's going to end? Who's going to walk home with that coveted chicken dinner?
Haven taking a little bit of chip damage from the zone there, but soon going to be making it inside. But the zone is still moving. Haven, you need to keep moving, my man. You cannot be stopping here, because if you do, the zone's going to be cutting out a lot, and it's going to be electrocuting you way too much. Now, if we take a look at Junai and Haven just like riding around each other, just next to each other pretty much a lot. If Junai decides to peek out and just do like a little bit of chip damage to himself or him, it's going to be a lot more funny to watch. But as we talk about that, SOB has been eliminated. The team that you wanted to survive and you wanted to win has been completely taken out of the game finally. Now, as we talk about Jerry though, XCVS Jerry is still in a really fantastic spot. It's a one-on-one situation. Which guy's going to be coming out on top? The nades coming in from Jerry there. Heaven's going to be taking a little bit of damage. He is just going to be keeping on throwing those nades. The utility usage is coming in from point, but at the same time, Jerry is taking a little bit of damage. As we talk about a beautiful nade from Jerry, it's going to be closing the things out. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh my goodness, Heaven. He just walked right into his own grave over there. I mean, that nade was not even supposed to connect. Yeah, of course, it would have done some chip damage. But he just walked right into that grenade and just blown up. And Jerry, of course, we've seen this coming out from XCVSE. Wonderful, wonderful performance coming out from these guys. Persistence is the key over here. They've been trying so hard right from the start. And even when in a situation like that, IPG4 Arc, I must still say, they kind of threw this game out because they had the perfect time. They had the numbers. It was a 2v1v1. And Heaven, after knowing the fact that Junaid had kind of smoked his surroundings, should have really gone on top and could have just pushed him. And then both these players can have had their attention onto Jerry. The moment Jerry comes out, we'll take a look at the MVP as we keep talking about what was happened in the final fight. And it has to be Jerry. It deserves that. Jerry was silent. He had that Groza. He had the ghillie suit. So helping him survive surviving the final circle. And after taking that one player down, I really thought that maybe Heaven would want to eliminate Jerry. But no, he did not do that. Playing the safer route kind of led to this team coming second.
Indeed, as I was talking about, Jerry was definitely doing a lot more work in all these games that we have witnessed so far. 8 kills coming in from Jerry with 1,000 damage at the while as well. 1 assist, not really gonna assist though, but at the same time, yeah, he was able, that just shows that he wasn't really potatoing us at all, and he was able to take down all those kills that he was contesting and going for, which is just a absolute good things for coming in from his side.
Yeah, I mean, even coming back, Souls of BD, like I said, this team has a lot of potential. They did survive for quite some time, but I do not know what United was even thinking.
Team match, let's go.
First point for the red team!
Enemy down! Reloading! Dead!
Killing spree for the red team!
Target down! Kill!
team is in the lead.
Enemy down!
Killing spree for the red team.
Dead! Enemy down! Cover me! Great! You're about to win!
The blue team is about to win. Killing spree for the red team.
Expired! Red team victory!
I got supplies. Marked a location. 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 I got supplies. I got supplies. Excellent work. I got supplies. I need a scope. I got supplies. Okay. I got supplies.
يلا جايك
يلا
اوكي. يلا يلا.
body money, body money.
Marked a location.
What?